What is up, guys? Zach here from the Chaos Galaxy, and today I'm going to be doing the Archetype 101 for the brand new Utopanon archetype for the planet Sindian. This is going to be coming out in the Sindian starter deck next month, along with the Sindell starter deck for the Ghatomic archetype, which, if you haven't seen them, there'll be a link to their Archetype 101 in the description below. So, I'll get straight into it. Also, just quickly, this week's homemade TCG shout out goes to Dream Dimension TCG. I don't know why he's only got 50 subscribers because his game's amazing. Been uploading solidly for about 3 months now, and just the cards that he draws, they're so kind of simple and sketchy looking, but I think they just look so nice. Definitely check out Dream Dimension TCG. There'll be a link to this game in the description below. Like that, so cool. So the first card is a card that came out with set 3. It basically sums up what the archetype does. There are lots of little creatures which will swarm your planet, so you're going to want lots of creature and battle zones, and then they overpower your opponent through the power of teamwork. So the first card we have here is the Ancient Utopanon. This guy actually came out in set 3, so you can get your hands on him already. He's a 4-star with 100 power and 150 health, and his ability reads, this creature gains 50 power and health for each of your other zoned creatures. So realistically, he's not going to be too strong. Even with the Utopanon archetype, he's probably not going to get past like 250, 300 power, and he's going to be there in the starter deck. So he's the first of the Utopanon cards. Now, the Utopanon, the Ancient Utopanon, was the leader and the first member of the Holy Guard of the Utopanon creatures. If you're into the lore, he was there. He saw the whole destruction of Sindian and started his own kind of warriors guild to protect the planet at all costs. So he started it off, and then he trained the Utopanon Guard creatures. So the first card we have here, a new card, is Akab, the Utopanon Guard. He's obviously from the planet Sindian, got 140 power, 120 health, and he's got 3 stars. So all the Utopanon Guard creatures are quite weak, but you're going to get loads of them out, and then they all gain abilities when there's more than one Utopanon Guard out there. So using teamwork to overpower your opponent. And this guy reads, if you have another zoned Utopanon Guard, so that's how all of these creatures start pretty much. If you have another zoned Utopanon Guard, when you cosplay this creature, you must kill one zoned creature. So that's a really good ability. More than likely, you're going to cosplay him, pay 3 stars, you get to kill any one of your opponent's creatures. Unfortunately, if they don't have any, you're going to have to kill one of your own creatures. But a really good card. If you have another Utopanon Guard, then the combo just pops off nice and easily. Unfortunately, the Ancient Utopanon, because he doesn't have Utopanon Guard in his name, he does not count towards this guy's ability, which is a shame, but I don't want them to be too overpowered, so you can just be able to kill a card every turn if you play this guy. So that's Akab, the Utopanon Guard, and he's the first one. Second up, we have the weakest creature for the archetype, Etch, the Utopanon Guard. Only 20 power and health, and he's a 1-star. And once per turn, you can gain 2 stars for every other zoned Utopanon creature. So if you've got 3 creatures on the planet, whether they have Utopanon in their name, like Guard or not, you gain that many stars times 2. So if you have these 2 other guys, you get 4 stars a turn, which is really nice, considering the cost of him is only 1 star. So you can just save up, you can just get lots of stars to him, and then spam the field with lots of Utopanon cards. Next up, I'm going to show you the boss monster for the archetype. He's only a 6-star. His name is Thaddeus, the Utopanon General. So he's not the cover card of the archetype, which is interesting. The first time I've done this for a starter deck. He is the boss of the archetype. The cover card is going to be a really good card that I'll reveal later. Thaddeus, the Utopanon General. Again, he's not got Guard in his name, which is unfortunate, but he's a 6-star with 220 power and 200 health. I really like his artwork, and his ability reads, whilst you have 2+, so 2 or more zoned Utopanon Guard creatures, double this creature's power and health. So he'll go up to 440, 400 for a 6-star if you've got any 2 Utopanon Guards on your planet. So if you save up some stars and you can do this in a turn, you can potentially kind of cosplay Etch for 1 star, cosplay Akab, kill one of your opponent's creatures, cosplay Thaddeus, have his power and health doubled, and then use Etch's ability to gain 4 stars back, which is really good. We've got another Utopanon Guard card now. He's a 4-star, so he's the strongest of the Utopanon Guards. He's got 120 power, 220 health. I'm a big fan of his artwork, and he reads, once per turn, if you have another zoned Utopanon Guard, you can kill 1 zoned resource or attachment card, which is proper good. Although his stats aren't great, he's a Utopanon Guard card, so he counts towards all the other different counts, and his ability is once per turn. Normally with a kind of killing ability, it would only work when it plays it. But Utopanon Guard, you can potentially kill like 3 or 4 resource or attachment cards with this guy, which is crazy. If you say you like cosplay Jorah and then cosplay Akab, you can kill literally any card. Like, there's nothing that can really stop that. Such good abilities, and you get to do that twice. So this archetype seems very strong to me so far. And like I said, because I think this archetype is very strong, and like I said, at this stage, because I haven't released the decks yet, if you think things are too overpowered, let me know in the comments, and I'll do my best to balance out the cards. But this is overall, this is what they're going to do. Like, the whole vibe of the archetype's not going to change. It might just be that, you know, if Jorah seems too overpowered, instead of once per turn you can kill a resource or attachment, it might just change to like. And then the final creature of the archetype, the big daddy, it's the Utopanon Fortress. It's a combiner. I really like the artwork. I had a lot of fun drawing it. And it's like a floating castle off the skies shores of the planet Sindian. 250 power and a whopping 390 health, which is really good. And I'll read you its abilities. So, this zoned combiner counts as 2 separate Utopanon Guard creatures, and then once per turn you can shuffle 1 killed Utopanon creature into your galaxy to gain 1 point. So whilst you have this guy out, it counts as 2 Utopanon Guard creatures. So as soon as you play a Thaddeus, the Utopanon General, you double his power and health. Really, really good. And then because you're going to want to be like spamming all your weaker cards out to get all their ability offs at the same turns, whilst you've got zoned Utopanon creatures, if they somehow die and you fail that combo, next turn just go ahead, play the Utopanon Fortress, shuffle back all your cards so you can play them again later, and gain points whilst you do it. So it's a win-win. You get your deck's engine back, and you get to effectively win the game, because that's how you win, getting points. So that is the combiner creature for the archetype. Kind of simple. All of the cards have really simple abilities. It's basically just, whilst there's another Utopanon card out, you get to do extra stuff. Which brings me to the resource cards. So the biggest weakness of the deck is actually not being able to get all the cards out that you need at a time. So if you kind of draw into 1 Utopanon card, it's pretty dead. Although we have the resource cards now. There's 2 support cards I've made, and these are the emblem cards. So when a Utopanon Guard performs like nobly in a battle, they'll get this kind of emblem medal type thing. So the first one we have is Emblem of Bravery, which is a rare in the starter deck. And this simply reads, free play 1 of your killed Utopanon Guard creatures. Which might seem like really overpowered at first. And it's a great ability, don't get me wrong. However, unfortunately, because there's only 3 guys who, whilst they're killed, have the name Utopanon Guard, you'll only be able to free play 1 of these guys. And unfortunately, because Akab has to be cosplayed to kill a creature, you can either just bring him back so you can get an ability when you play another Utopanon Guard, or you can use these guys' abilities with either Jorah to kill an attachment or resource, or Etch to gain stars. So this is kind of like a combo star. If you've got killed Utopanon cards, Emblem of Bravery is going to be the card to start off your next few combos. The next emblem card we have is the Emblem of Unity. So if you have a zoned Utopanon creature, you draw 1 card. That's a standard 1-for-1, which is good in any trading card game, really. However, if you have 3+ zoned Utopanon creatures, you draw 2 cards instead. So this is if you've done a big play, got a couple of Utopanon Guards out, and then played your big boss Thaddeus or something, gone for a really big move. You might not have much in your hand to protect these guys from being killed on your opponent's turn, but play Emblem of Unity, and you're going to be able to replenish your hand by 2 cards and really pop off. And I think if you kind of get this board going, once you get this deck going, actually, there's very little your opponent can do to beat you. It's just going to be that consistency of getting like 2 Utopanon Guards into your hand at the same time to start things off. And that's how I think the deck's going to be really interesting. So, because that's the deck's weakness, I'll just go through a quick few support cards that are released into the game already that are going to really help out the deck. The first card we have, I think, is Dupab. Obviously, it's Sindian, so it's going to have good synergy with the cards anyway. But when you cosplay Dupab, you get to free play 1 of your killed creatures. And although it loses any special ability it has, its power and health become 10, it's just got the name of Utopanon Guard, so that you can then go ahead and play your other Utopanon Guards and get their abilities out. Only thing is, I feel like your creature zones and battle zones might be quite tight if you're using this galaxy, so you're going to want to use them sparingly. Maybe having a Dupab out on your planet isn't the best idea when you really want those zones for your other Utopanon creatures. So Dupab's a maybe. I'll need to test things out a bit. Another card that's kind of the same route as Endermans Telescope, I think this could be really broken if used at the right time. Angel Spacecraft, a limited edition for set 3 designed by Chan Xavier, and when you cosplay a Sindian creature, you draw 1 card, and then if that creature is not a Sindian creature, you kill that creature in your hand and this card. So effectively, you could start your turn by like playing Angel Spacecraft and drawing into like 3 Utopanon creatures because it's such a creature heavy deck. This is a really broken combo, and I don't know if Angel Spacecraft might have to get like banned or at least reduced to 1 in the next ban list, but we'll see how the deck plays out. Definitely going to have some fun with these combos before anything happens on the ban list, so don't worry about that for now. The next support card we have is Slushies Curse. When the attached creature kills another creature through an attack or ability, the attached creature's power and health become the same as the creature it killed. So that sounds a bit confusing. But let's say you have one of your weak Utopanon creatures out. You're going to want to keep this on your planet so the next turn you can play more Utopanons and get those combos off that you need. Whereas if your opponent's coming at you with a strong creature, like let's say a Meltalon, if you attach a Slushies Curse to your etch, if they kill that etch, their power and health is going to go down to 20, which they really don't want. So they may be kind of forced to keep this etch on your planet and not attack into it, which means next turn you're going to get the opportunity to play lots more Utopanon cards, get abilities off like Akab, kill that Meltalon, and then attack for like 2-3 points. And just things that stop your opponent killing your Utopanon creatures are going to be really good. Other cards like Bull Warder, that's a more obvious one. They're the good support cards for the archetype. And what if you're going up against this archetype? If you really hate Sindian, you lose to them every time and you want to get around them, some of the best ways to get past them. And mass destruction cards like Beast of the Black Hole and Galaxy Crash, these are just going to be able to wipe out an entire opponent's board if it's left vulnerable at the end of their turn. The main reason that I think the main drawback I think though to the Utopanon creatures is the zones that they'll take up. You're going to kind of want at least 3 or 4 creature and battle zones if you're using this archetype. So if something like a Slush Infestation or a Guster can take up or remove those zones from your opponent's planet if they're using Utopanons, that's going to be really useful to you and really going to screw up their day. So anything that causes like mass destruction or tampers with zones are going to be the keys to getting past the Utopanon archetype. So guys, let me know what you think of this archetype. Personally, I really like them. I like how they fit in with the lore, and they've got some weird things about them, like this Sindell creature, the fact that their boss monster isn't like a super strong boss monster, but it's all about the weaker cards and them working together to overcome your opponent. They've got an interesting combiner and some really good support cards for the planet Sindian, so really excited to see how they work out in battles, and I really can't decide which deck I prefer out of these guys and the Ghatomic Sindell archetype. So the starter decks will be out soon. Get set for the full videos, and also I've still got the boss creature to reveal from the Sindian deck list. I can reveal that it's just a generic support card for the planet, so it'll really help out the Utopanon cards and any other kind of Sindian deck you might like. So if you're looking at like Drangel or the Chaos Beasts or that kind of thing, definitely stay tuned for that video. But let me know what you think of this archetype. Please like the video, comment and subscribe if you want to see more creative trading card game stuff. Follow me on Instagram at Chaos Galaxy TCG. Join the Chaos Galaxy Discord. There's a tournament coming up that I'm taking part in, so I'll probably post a video on like the highlights of that. Should be really fun. I'm dead excited for it. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.